Hi all, this is the third part of our video of VPC Service Controls. And in this, we are basically talk about Access Context Manager, like how we can use access level with VPC Service Control. So basically, Access Context Manager is itself a different service, but we can use it with along VPC Service Control. And so Access Context Manager allows like our organization administrator to define fine-grained and attribute-based access control for projects and resource in the Google Cloud. So basically, we can create an access policy, and which is an organization-wide access policy, and we can combine the access policy with our service parameter. Like service parameter, we create in VP service control, and in that specific access policy, or we can say access level, we can grant access based on the request, such as what is the device type, user identity, and more things like IP, reason, and all that. And we can use access context manager for with these services like VP service control support it, and IAP context aware access for Google Workspace and IAM. So basically, we are looking how we can use Access Context Manager with VP Service Control. And inside Access Context Manager, we have to create some access policies, or we can say access level in terms of VP Service Control, in which access policy basically a container of all your access content manager resources, such as access levels, which what type of access levels we want to provide, and what are the service parameter we want to combine. So it will kind of a container, and we can create access policy in the context of organization, like if you want to create an organization level access policy, or if you want to create policy for suppose your folders or projects, you can create a scoped access policy. As I have shown you in the previous demos, like whenever we want to use service like VP service control, we have to create a new parameter inside the access policy. So that access policy, inside that access policy, this access level comes and this service parameter comes. So I will show you how to create this, but just remember that with the help of access context manager, we can create access levels. So if you want to allow some specific person to access your like resources in out like from outside the parameter, we can use access context manager. So let's go to the demo and see how we can use that. This is our organization policy, which I'm talking about access policy, this which we have created in our first part. If you don't have, you can just come here and manage policy, and you can create one. So we can create only one organization access policy, which we already have. But if you want to create a scope policy, which is scoped means which is for project or folder, you can create multiple according to, you can add you have multiple projects, you can create access policy for like specific projects, or you can even add the folders also. So we have access policy, so we will don't touch that. So what will happen in that access policy, we will create a parameter, which you know this is very basic, which we have already covered. So in this parameter, these are the access levels. So we are going to talk about these access levels, how it works. So to create an access level, now we have to go to access context manager. This is a, from here we can create our access level. Here we have to define in all the things, and it provides an extra level of security like based on attributes. Like attributes can be like incoming request, like your IP, your on anything like reason, or let's click on create access level. So I will show you some things. So basically we have to provide a name. First of all, let's give test access level. Now in this we have two mode, advanced and basic. So we will use basic only. For advanced I don't have this enterprise premium one, so we will go with advanced, but with basic. But with advanced you can use like more features, and it helps also, like you can write condition with use with the CEL. And let's go with basic one. So in this basic one, like we have these IP networks. If you want to allow specific traffic from specific IP, like public or private IP, if you want geographic location, that traffic is coming from specific location, then only it will be allowed. And you can even add device policy, but it's a premium feature, so we cannot use that. And access level dependencies, like you have to attach multiple access levels, so we can use that also. And you can create multiple conditions, and when this condition true or false, if condition is true, then your you can able to access. Condition is false, you will not able to access. These all the options are here. So first of all, we will create a new service parameter, and after that we will see how we can use this access level in this. So let's give it like second project. name, and it is a regular parameter, and we want to like protect our second project. So let's click here, add second. After that, the shifted services, I will add cloud storage, and I will also add BigQuery also. So let's go to BigQuery, and after that let's add storage API, cloud storage. So these two services I am adding. As of now, I am able to access these two services without an issue. If I just refresh my page over the internet, traffic is going fine. I am facing no issues. And even I have a bucket bucket here, and even this command from my first project VM, I am able to access this from my another project. I have a VM this project, first project, and my bucket is in my second project. So I am able to access this bucket from the different project now. So I have added this, make it all services, and now we'll see how we can use access level. First of all, let's create without an access level. This is very basic. We have already done this one before also. Let's create parameter. Parameter has been created. Now let's go back to our VM and try to run the same command one again. It will take some time. Let's try again and see. Now it has provided the access. It is doing that VPC service control. Because of that, I am not able to access this my storage bucket. Now even if I go to my bucket and just refresh this page, we will see that our access has been blocked because we are now outside the parameter. So we have protected our second project, and no traffic, like we cannot access the project from outside. So my first project is also outside, and if I try to access my bucket, so I'm coming over the internet, so this means also I'm coming from the outside. I'm not in the parameter like in the fence, so I'm not able to access this also now, my cloud storage. So now what we can do, now we can go to here and we can create access levels. So we can say like public or private IP. Suppose you want to have a public IP, private IP. Let's first try with private IP. In that, you can select like which, if you have a VPC network, you can just click on it, and there are some option like we can browse for VPC network, or we can manually enter VPC network address. If you know that, you can find out, and we can even upload CSV file if you have multiple thing or you want to use CSV file to maintain it. So let's go with first option, and after that I want my first project VPC, and this is my default VPC network, and will add selected VPC network. Even if you want to manually add or select any VPC subnet, you can select it also, but I want to go with all subnets. I don't want to select any specific subnet, but if there is a option like you wanted a specific subnet only can reach your like cloud storage or any application, any service which you are restricting, you can select that also. And after that, even if I want to add geographic locations, I can add also, like if and traffic is coming from a specific location only, then it can access. So let's leave it, we will see this also, and just click on save. So we have created our access level. So we have told that if traffic is coming from our first project default VPC, then it must be allowed. Now it has been created, but we have to attach it now to our parameter. So we can go inside our parameter and click on edit parameter, and now we can go to access levels and just choose our test access level. So it is works only if your traffic is coming from outside the service parameter. So like right now, it is a kind of ingress traffic, but if you want like traffic uh, can go outside from a parameter, like to the internet from a parameter, that will not work with the access levels. For that, we have to use egress policy, which we'll cover later on in next parts. So let's click on save. Access level has been created. Maybe it will take time. Let's try once again and just see whether it works or not. So as soon as I've added the access level, it start working, and you can see I am getting access like response. Now suppose you want to change something in this, and you want you want to add a geographic location also, even if all that you have allowed for the full VPC, but you want that traffic must be come only from India. If it is coming from any other country, that traffic will not work. So now we have two conditions. Traffic must come from our first VPC private IP, first project VPC, and second it must be coming from the India. So as of now my VM is in US location. It I have put it in US, so it must not work. Now let's click on save. So according to condition, my traffic is coming from first project default VPC, but it is not coming from India. So location will not match. So again, it will block my traffic. So if we go back here and if we click this, see again it is stopped like blocking our traffic. Previously it worked. Now again it is blocking because traffic is not coming from India. Like this, you can modify this all like rules. You can come at it and add more things like public IP also you can add. Even you can this is we can do access level dependencies. Suppose you have already have a policies there like one more access level, you can attach that also. So it will dependent on this specific one. And more we can do if you can make it false. So what does it mean? If traffic is coming from this project and it is not from India, then on it works. So let's save it. Previously true means it will match the condition. Now if this condition is matched, and the outcome will be false. So if it is false means it is, if it is not from India, then only it works. But if it is from India, it will not work. So let's click on save. So now we have told them the traffic is coming from this specific sub network, but it does not match India. Then only it will work. So let's try to check whether it will work or not. So see again it is working again. So you can use true and false according to your need, how you want to make that. Now let's we can create one more access level. So as of now I'm not able to access my like cloud storage from over the internet. So I can like you have like some issue has been came and you want like specific person can access this bucket over the internet, like he cannot join the VPN or some issues there, and he's like joining from remotely and you have to test from over the internet. So you can come again and you can create a more access level, like allowing my public IP, allowing public IP. You can come here basic again sub networks, and you can just provide a public IP. So we can provide both IPv4 and IPv6. My IP address, so I will copy it. So what I have seen is sometime request will be sent from your IPv6, not from IPv4. So what will happen if you like if you send, you can check logs for that. So if I just save this, it can be possible that my request will not reach there. So you have to check the logs whether request is coming from IPv4 or IPv6. So I face this issue. So basically I will add my both address IPv4 and IPv6 so that I will not face this issue. But uh, it will depends upon your ISP and the browser also, like from where it will sending the request. So I will show you why I'm asking you. So let's click on save. I will add IPv6 later on, and I will create this policy, and after that I will go to my second project service parameter. I will edit this parameter and add one more access level. So we can add multiple. So I'm saying allowing public IP. I will click on OK and save. So now what I'm saying that if traffic is coming from this specific public IP, it must be allowed inside the parameter. It will not. It must not be blocked. So hope you understand. So if I go to back to my bucket, so I have refreshed this my bucket page, still it is not working. So what we can do, we can go here VPC, and we can click on audit logs. And after that, once you click on audit log, select the project in which you are checking. So this is my second project in which my bucket is there. So this is my latest logs. So if I go inside it and try to see, it is saying that it is provided by organization policy. So I have to find that IP. So if I further check inside, you can find your IP also. Let me check that. So this is my caller IP. So let me zoom in. So you can see this is the IP which is sending the request, and it is the same IP C382, which is my IPv6 IPv6 for my specific machine. So according to that, traffic is coming from this, not from IPv4. That's why I am getting that error. So I can go inside back to my align public IP, and that's I will add my IPv6 also here, and just click on this and click on save. I have updated my align public IP. Now if I go back to my cloud storage and just click on refresh page, it must work now because I have allowed that specific IP which is hitting my cloud storage or like Google end. So now you can see I am able to see the bucket without an issue. So you have to make sure what you are doing. If you face any issue, just go to VPC Service Control and click on like audit logs. You will get all the information like what is happening in your this. And one more thing, like let me create one more access level. So this is like for region. I will say region, advanced and geographic locations. So let me make it US and click on done. Okay, save. So I have created a access level, which is I'm saying this only geographic location is US only. So I will not attach this to any service parameter. Basically, what will I do? I will go to my allowing public IP. I will click on edit, and I will click on access level dependencies, and I will choose this reason. Okay, so I'm seeing now if traffic is coming from this IP and there is a dependency, the region. So region must match also. So what the region I have chosen? That region is US. But I am sending traffic from India. I'm from India, so traffic is coming from India. So if I try to access it again, it will give an error. So let me go back to my cloud storage and just click on refresh button. So we can see now again the server was not able to fulfill my request. It is working fine. Now again, if you want to like make sure, like if you want reverse of it, like only US is not allowed and all location allowed, just make it false or true, like what you want, and you can even add more conditions also. And you know, and or so as of now, imagine and so and means both must be true. Or if I can add or means only one must be true. So let's go with or. So and I will remove this dependency and let me do I remove this and I will add location like make it US again. So okay and make it save. So now it means either of one will be true, it will work. So I think this is a very basic thing only and or it is. So whether it can include this or this. So if I go back to my cloud storage and click on refresh, I think it will must start working. So see I'm able to access this now once again. And this is for this video, and this is access context manager, and I show you how you can use it and what are the things that you have in this. And inside the VP service control, if you go back here and if you click on edit parameter, so basically now we can even use access level with ingress policy also. It will not allow previously, but there is no option. So if we click on add rule, I will cover it later on, but like something we add here, the option of access level also, now we can include that also. I will cover access level, the ingress policy in next part, and I will also cover scope policies, what are that, and also I will cover shared VPC, how we can use shared VPC with the help of VPC service control. And these all things you must make sure you must know. And if you want to know more about like what are the other options, you can check out my first and second part of the video in which I have covered all these basic things, which how to create that service control and all that, like how to resource to protect and this VPC network also, and restricted services, VPC accessible services. I have already covered all these. So this is from this video. If you have any questions or suggestions, just comment it down. I will try to help you. Thank you.